everyone, and welcome to another review from Colour with Claire. Today I'm going to be showing you the brand new set of 120 coloured pencils by Arteza. So if you haven't already seen my previous review of the 72 set that came out last year, then please do go and click on that. I'll leave the link in the description. That'll give you probably a more in-depth look at the actual pencils themselves. Whereas this is just to show you really the new colours that they've added to the set and some blends and things like that. So the box looks like this. It is a metal tin. It has a close-up owl on the front. That's what you're looking for. It's the expert coloured pencils. So these are allegedly artist quality. They have 4mm leads and apparently they're break resistant. I have had a few small breakages with them, with a few of them I should say, but nothing major. It's only what I'd find on pretty much every other single pencil. So there's nothing, you know, too breakable about them. I do believe they are quite strong. They seem to be thicker for some reason. I don't know if it's just me, it could be just me, but they do seem to be a little bit thicker, whether that's barrel or lead, than the previous ones in the 72 set. And like I say, I've not mathematically, you know, measured it or anything like that, but they do feel a little bit sturdier, these ones. So let's have a look. So this is the tin that they come in. On the back, you've got all of the colours listed. Now, for some reason, the pencils don't actually come in this order, which you think they would. They come in rather odd order, and you have to sort of finagle them and reorder them around, which is what I've done. So I've put them all in the order that you find here on the back. But as I say, that's not the order they'll come in. Now, when you open them up, you've also got the colours on the underside of the lid. And then it also tells you about the Lightfast properties. Now, I don't know what method of Lightfast testing Arteza have used on these pencils. I don't think they've used blue wool. There's no information of how they've tested these pencils. So I think that's something that I'm going to have to email them about and then let you guys know, because you can't really put a Lightfast rating on something but not say how you've come to that conclusion. And of course, with them being what I would say is a budget pencil compared to artists' quality Lightfast pencils, I find it very difficult to believe that these are genuine Lightfast ratings. And if so, I just want to know how they've done it and how they've come to that conclusion. But it says that each pencil that's marked with a 1+ sign is excellent Lightfastness. And if it's got 4+ signs, it's just fair. So they go from 1 to 4. As I say, I'm not putting too much stock in that at the moment. So usually when you open your box, all your pencils would be here in these plastic trays all laid out. But as you can see, me being me, I've already decanted them into a pencil case because I can't be bothered with trays. And I use these enough for me to want to put them in a pencil case because, you know, getting trays out and stuff, it's quite annoying. So I've put them in this beautiful marble look pencil case that I got from Amazon. I'll put a link for it in the description, but basically you just type in 120 pencil slot case and it will come up with this. So let's have a look. Here are the pencils. So we've got loads of, well, obviously there's going to be a massive, you know, bigger variety of pencils and colours than we had in the 72 set, that's obvious, but it's really clear to see when you see them side by side like this, the big range that we have this time. So tons of yellows. Yellows always seem to go into reds and reddish browns with Arteza. That's the way they do it. Not saying you have to order yours like this, but I just tend to keep them in the way that they're ordered on the box. You can see we've got loads more browns. We've also got some raw umber and raw sienna kind of colours, which is fantastic. They're new. I'll tell you more about the colours in a moment. I just want to kind of go through them quickly. So you can see here we've got our sort of light peaches, skin coloury tones. Then you've got pinks, purples, blues, greens. More greens, there's loads of greens. And then you're into your greys. We also have an addition of 5 metallic colours, one of which is called Unicorn Purple, which is really, really nice. And I'll get to swatching some of those out for you in a second. So before I do that, you might have noticed that I just put out another video on this channel at exactly the same time as this one went live. And that one was purely to tell you that I've done a new chart for the Arteza 120. It's a colour combination chart. So you know that I already did, I think it was about 30 colour combinations for the 72 set. I've now added an extra 20 to that same chart, and these are the brand new 20 combos I've come up with. Now I've attempted to get every single new pencil included on these combos somewhere. So they should appear at least once each new pencil, I think, apart from the metallics. I don't really do metallics. You'll also notice, if I just bring it up to camera and let it focus in, that I have just fiddled around with the greys a little bit because they're all sort of in no particular order, and I've come up with a cool grey and a warm grey palette for you. So the greys don't come in this order whatsoever. You've got to figure it out. Well, you don't have to now because I already have, but you can see you've got your cool greys, you've got your warm greys, and that's really, really handy, especially, you know, if you use grey a lot for shadowing, shading, things like that. So they are the brand new 20 combinations. Link is in the description. As always, absolutely free to download and print. You will get the pre-coloured version that I coloured by hand, and you'll also get the blank chart that you can print and colour yourself depending what you want to do. So that's that. Now let's have a look at the actual colours. So I've swatched them all out in my swatch book, as you can see. The swatch book, because I know I'll get asked, is just a standard, I think it's Derwent sketchbook. I'll leave a link in the description if I remember. I always forget. I always say I will and then I forget. So I've swatched out all of the 120 colours, and hopefully the camera's picking this up, but I have put a little blue asterisk next to all of the new ones, but we'll go through it together just in case you can't see properly. So the new ones are cream, jasmine yellow, fluorescent yellow, ginger, vermilion, rust orange, Venetian red, cherry red, Spanish red, burgundy, wine red, hazelnut brown, burnt umber, raw sienna, earth red, salmon pink, watermelon pink, royal purple, violet, orchid purple, sky blue, sapphire blue, sea blue, Egyptian blue, Prussian blue, and midnight blue, deep teal, parakeet green, spearmint green, apple green, olive green, jungle green, onyx black, ash black, and then loads of greys. Fog grey, dolphin, stone, mushroom, elephant, steel, cloudy, koala, concrete, shadow, storm, and then you've got your metallics, unicorn, silver, gold, copper, and finally dreamy blue. I did say elephant was a new one, it's not. So yeah, those are all the new colours, as you can see. Now, when I first sort of counted it out to make sure that I'd counted them properly and I got the right amount of new colours, I actually came out with 122. I was like, where have these extra 2 pencils come from? But it's funny, I found that for some reason Arteza have changed the names of 2 of the pencils, so we haven't got 2 new colours, they've just changed 2 extra new colours, I should say. They've just changed the name. So there's no ivory. There used to be an ivory. I think I've actually swatched them out in here, have I? No, I haven't. There used to be an ivory, that's now called cream. And there also used to be a space grey, and now I can't remember which grey it is, but they've changed the name. So it's exactly the same colour, space grey, from the original, but it's just got a different name. So there are, you know, there are brand new colours here for us, and it really does bulk out the selection that we've got. It really, really does, especially the greens. So you can see just, you know, how many greens we've got now, just fantastic. We've got this parakeet green, which is my favourite. It's a beautiful colour, and spearmint green as well. Apple green is really, really bright. We've also got tons of blues. So sky blue was the very light blue that was lacking completely in the 72 set. I still would like some more light blues, you know, 1 or 2, because I do think that we're heavy on the dark blues here. Particularly the Egyptian blue, which is an ultramarine colour, which could be confused with the blueberry and, you know, possibly the ultramarine on the other side as well. But we also have a big addition to the reds. So we've got Venetian cherry and burgundy and Spanish. And my favourite colour, I have to say, out of all of the new ones is actually earth red. It kind of looks a little bit like the Polychromo's dark flesh colour. I'll bring it up. So can you see earth red just here? And I think that's going to be a really valuable colour, not only for skin tones, but for landscapes, and you can use it as shading. It's a very unusual tone, put it that way. Now, a lot of people do ask me, what pencils do Arteza pencils compare to? And it's very difficult because they are a wax-based pencil, but they feel much more like a Polychromo's pencil than they do a Prismacolor. Saying that, they're not as hard as polys. So, you know, if there was a sliding scale of Polychromos at this end, Prismacolors at this end for softness, I would put the Arteza pencils just nudged over halfway toward the Polychromos. So they do have that hardness to them. When you're using them, they don't give off a lot of dust. They don't need sharpening very often. and they do feel like they're quite dense and strong. But at the same time, they have that beautiful vibrancy and really, really good blending capability that you will find with Prismacolor. So, you know, honestly, if you are looking for a budget pencil that purports to be artist quality, that has all the bright colours, that blends really well, but it's not waxy, so to speak, the Artezas, you really cannot go wrong with them whatsoever. I think it's a fantastic brand that just keeps bringing out more and more things of decent quality for affordable prices that we, you know, we would want to go for. So what have I showed you? I've showed you all of the colours. I've showed you my little blending chart. And what I thought we'd do is we'd do a little bit of blending just to show you in real time, because it's easy to look at this, but you know, that could have been done with anything, couldn't it really, if you didn't trust me? So let's do a few little blends. So I'm going to use the bottom of this page, and let's just actually choose one of these so we can see which one's a really, really nice blend. Let's go with, yeah, let's go with this one actually. This is really nice, and then we'll do this one because that's a really nice one as well. So Spanish Red, Salmon Pink and Pink Macaron or Macaroon. So I think Spanish Red and Salmon Pink are two of the new ones, and then Pink Macaroon was found in the 72 set. So here we go, that is the colours. Now this could be used as a skin tone. It's slightly reddish, but you could offset that with a lavender. So here we go, we've got Spanish Red. Let's see if I can zoom in so you're not squinting, and hopefully this is not blurred. So we've got our Spanish Red here. Now you don't need to put any pressure on these pencils at all. I'm literally just waving it across the paper and it's giving us a beautiful laydown of colour. Now the paper that I'm using is bog standard printer paper. It's nothing special, it's not made for coloured pencil or anything like that. So you're seeing them sort of at their most basic, I guess, which is how I like to do it anyway. And I think that really is a testament to how well these blends look, because they're just done on really boring, you know, basic paper. So all I normally do to blend, as you know, is I just go over this side a little bit. I'm really conscious of my overhead light. I'm really hoping that's not glaring. So I go over this side to make sure that it's a thicker, deeper colour, and then I get lighter as I come towards the next colour. So there we go, hopefully that is showing up properly. Then we're going to go in with the Salmon Pink, which is the next colour. We're going to go over all of that transition area that we put down, and again just bringing it out for the next colour. But you can see without any kind of effort made whatsoever, those two colours have just completely melted into one another. No skill required. Now obviously you're going to have bits of white tooth, speckly tooth showing up. That's when you need to use slight more pressure or maybe a blending pencil just to burnish that tooth down a little bit. But I like to use the pencils themselves rather than blending tools. It keeps the vibrancy of the colour. And then lastly we've got the Pink Macaron, which again I'm going to go straight over the transition area, and you have a seamless blend. And I'm just going to finish this off by deepening up this side. Now because I've got no clue whether you can see this or you can see a bunch of wax, I will bring it up to camera, get it focused on, but you can see it is a gorgeous seamless blend with those three colours, and there was just no effort whatsoever in that, was there? So let's try another blend. I did say that I was going to do these beautiful browns at the top here, so let's try that, and I'm going to put these away first because I'll end up putting them in the wrong place, and I'm quite anal about stuff like that, so I'm going to put them back. Now for the brown combo, we need hazelnut brown, which I think is a new one, passion fruit, which is one of the colours of Arteza that I use a lot, burnt ochre, and ginger, which is another new one. So that's these four colours here. So let's have a go. I always start off darker colour first. You don't have to do that, that's just how I do it. And we'll do exactly the same thing. So all I'm doing really is demonstrating to you how effortlessly these pencils blend, but you can also see that there's hardly any residue coming off the pencil, so they're not dusty pencils, they're not going to smudge, you know, they're not going to cause you any problems in that sense. but at the same time they're really easy to blend. So it's kind of like having the polychromos but without having to put all that hard work in with light layers and things, you know. Next up is the passion fruit. So this one is a completely different colour to the hazelnut brown, but you can see, hopefully, that it still blends in with it really, really well. Just go over it a little bit to get rid of some of that tooth. And then we're going into our next colour, so let's put a bit of light pigment on the paper. Next up is the, let me check, yeah, burnt ochre. So again, go over your transition area. Just absolutely seamless. I will bring this up to camera in a second. So if you're just seeing wax at the moment, I'm sorry about that. So there is the burnt ochre. And finally the ginger. So I'm just working to get rid of some of the tooth on this printer paper. But really, they don't need any working whatsoever. So let me bring it up to camera. Let's get you focused in. So there you go. Hopefully you can see that properly. Really, really nice blends. So yeah, what more can I say? I did mention that I feel like the new 120 set have been thickened somehow. I don't know, maybe I need to do some sort of experiment. But they do feel a lot sturdier, and yeah, I think they're just constantly striving to improve, Arteza are, which is fantastic because they're bringing us a great product at a great price. So if you want to get your hands on the 120 set, I'll be leaving links in the description, both for the sets on Amazon, US and UK, and also on the Arteza US and UK websites as well. Now, the benefit of ordering on the Arteza websites is there's usually a 10% off code. I think I have a 10% off code for you, but I haven't checked before I did this video because you know how disorganised I am. And I'm not sure whether it's still in date, whether it can still be used. But they always seem to have a 10% off code anyway, no matter when you go. They also might even have a bit extra off because it's the new year. So they might have maybe a sale price. I haven't checked, but it's all going to be in the description below. So don't listen to me. Go and look what I've put in the description after this video, and you'll see if there's any offers on and things. But in conclusion, it is a really, really good, I don't know how many pencils you add on from 72 to 120, don't ask. But there's been some really, really nice additions, particularly, as I say, I think the greens are really nice. This parakeet green is one of my favourites. Also that earth red, the salmon pink, the burgundy and the wine red go really nicely together as well. There's so many. I love them all. I love them all. I hope they do add to it again in the future. The only thing that I would say about these pencils is that I really, really wish that they were available open stock, you know, because it would be easier to go in and replace your single pencils that you've used up rather than have to buy, you know, a whole different thing. But they have actually come out with single markers in their Everblend range. So I'm hoping that we will get single pencils coming soon. Let's see. I'll keep you informed anyway. Don't forget to go and download your colour combo chart if you want to. I hope you've enjoyed looking at the new colours of the 120. Everything's going to be in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon on Colour with Claire.